my name is Maddy Shambaugh. My nickname is Mustang Maddy, if you guys are in the horse world and familiar with that name. And I learned about Kathy and her work from a friend of mine named Warwick Schiller. And it was actually when I was at the Western States Horse Expo, a really large horse show and event in California. And that's when I initially met Kathy. And right away you can tell that she is just a human that is so genuine and caring and compassionate towards every person and horse that she meets, and just really invested in an authentic way, however she can support you best in your healing journey. And so at the time that I met Kathy, I was having some really serious issues with sciatica pain and had been going through some lower back issues starting in 2016. Did a lot of myofascial release and was pretty much pain-free for about a year, but then in the beginning of 2018, so a little over a year before I met Kathy, started having this sciatica pain come up, and it was just off and on all the time. And then by the time I met Kathy at the expo, it was getting to the point where it was just unbearable. I remember being at the expo and my right leg would just kind of like collapse because the pain was so intense. And so she offered to help me with a session at the expo. And after that session, it was just crazy because it got a little worse and then it got better as she explained kind of the process. But by later that day, I want to say, or at least by the next morning, I was pain-free. And I had not been pain-free like this in, over like a year, honestly, and a state of being pain-free that actually lasted. So I think I did a few more sessions with Kathy before I left and went home, and we, separated and went different ways. But I continued throughout the summer. So I saw Kathy in May. So May, June, July, August, September, nearly 6 months before I had some pain come up again. But it wasn't in the same intensity, sciatica pain again. It wasn't in the same intensity. And it was like after, like I couldn't believe like I had made it that long without having pain, because I had a crazy summer. I started having some, just very high stress, anxiety, which my sciatica before that had always accompanied. So going 6 months pain-free was a really big deal for me. And I had been in a car driving for 3 days leading up to the spike with my sciatica again. So I contacted Kathy and I was like, I don't know what else to do. Can you help me? And she was like, oh yeah, sure. I'll, zap you from a distance. And I want to say that I totally believe in Kathy's work. And after the first session I had with her, I was a believer. But I still had a little reservations, like, are you sure? Like, long distance? Like, you're on the other side of the globe and this is going to work? I was like, it's worth a try. And I totally, again, trust Kathy. And it worked. And again, I was pain-free. It was like instantaneous. I think she zapped me over the night, and by the next morning, I woke up feeling totally different. So it was just really, my time with Kathy has been amazing, and to have her as a person in my life, to offer her, her amazing work and friendship has been really life-changing for me, to have that kind of support. And I would definitely say that I've tried a lot of different things on my healing journey, and my work with Kathy has been some of the most powerful. So if you're on the fence about it, I would definitely recommend jumping in with her. And I also wanted to speak of the work that Kathy has done to help me with my horses. So you can see my monstrous trailer in the background. I travel with anywhere from 4 to 8 Mustangs and zebras, giving demonstrations all across the states on equine behavior, and helping people to better connect with their horses. And I also take in a lot of Mustangs who have been through some sort of trauma, or horses in general that have been in some sort of trauma and have failed conventional training. And I'm really excited about integrating Kathy's work with those horses. So we're just starting to explore that together. But she treated some of the Mustangs that I brought to the expo when I was traveling the time that I met her. And she spent some time with each of the horses doing some sessions, and I had some really powerful insights from her work with them that just really allowed me to take my appreciation and gratitude and relationship that I had with them deeper. It was really cool to look at our connection from that level. And also, one of my horses that she really helped at the expo, his name is Tauri. He's, he's 7 years old now. He's a BLM Mustang, and I've had him since he was 2. And he's always had a lot of anxiety, like around traveling and shows, and he's getting better, but at this particular expo, the setup was stalls where, the horses can't see through to each other, which is pretty typical, in that kind of environment. But he was just freaking out to the point where he was just pacing in his stall, pawing, like could not relax. And it was hot weather. He was working himself up into this lather. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just going to take you out of the stall and tie you, give you a hay net so that you can see your buddies. And, that kind of helped him quite a bit. But every time he went into his stall, because I'd have him out and kind of time during the day, at night he would pace to the point where the stall was just black, even if I'd stripped it and put like brand new bedding the night before. So Kathy comes and does a session, and after the session, the next morning was the first morning that his stall was not like black. Like, he actually maintained all of his bedding and stood eating, relaxed, and didn't make a mess of his stall that night from all of his pacing and anxiety. So that's just one very concrete example of how the work with Kathy really helped that horse in that situation. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to continue working with Kathy. I'm really excited about integrating this work into the horses that I work with, whether they're the troubled Mustangs that I'm working with or simply a horse that I have that I want to connect with on a deeper level and get some insight on. So that is my experience with Kathy, and again, I highly recommend her work. She's an amazing person inside and out, and I'm really grateful to have her as not only a healing resource, but as a friend. So thank you, Kathy.